The midnight feed. When I was a child, my grandmother told me about the midnight feed, a grim tradition from her hometown. Every family left a bowl of raw meat outside on the darkest winter night. If they didn't, they'd hear scratching at their windows and those who looked would be taken. I thought it was just another creepy tale, but after my grandmother passed, I inherited her house in that town, at the edge of dense woods. As winter approached, the townspeople grew anxious, closing shops early and locking doors. No one would say why, but I remembered her story when I heard scratching at my window. It began softly, like tree branches brushing the glass, but grew louder each night. By the longest night of the year, it was a relentless clawing. I bolted my doors, fear gripping me as I recalled my grandmother's warning. It couldn't be true, could it? At midnight, the scratching stopped. Relief washed over me, but then a low, guttural growl echoed from the woods, vibrating the walls. I grabbed a flashlight and peered outside. A tall, thin shadow with limbs bending at impossible angles stood just beyond the tree line. My light flickered, and I stumbled back, slamming the door shut. The scratching resumed at the front door, more desperate this time. Whatever it was, it wanted in, and it wasn't just an animal. Panic surged. I dumped raw meat scraps into a bowl and threw it outside. Before slamming the door again, I pressed my ear against it, heart pounding. The scratching stopped. Moments later, wet, grotesque chewing began, followed by low growls. I collapsed, shaking. The chewing continued until dawn. When morning came, I saw deep claw marks etched into the doorframe. It was real. I tried warning the townspeople, but they already knew. They'd been making offerings for generations, too afraid to stop. This was their tradition. No one wanted to find out what happened if you failed to feed the thing in the woods. Winter came again. I placed meat outside before dusk, hoping it would satisfy whatever lurked beyond. But at midnight, the scratching returned louder, more insistent. I peeked outside. The offering lay untouched. My stomach dropped as I realized the truth. It didn't just want meat anymore. Now, every night, the scratching comes, accompanied by whispers and threats. I know I'm running out of time. When the next longest night arrives, nothing I offer will be enough. The midnight feed is hungry, and it's growing hungrier with each passing year. If you hear scratching at your window, don't look. Leave whatever it demands and hope it's enough. But be warned, the more you feed it, the hungrier it becomes. And one day, it may want more than you can give.